what is going on here with the orange farm. He's saying that these are oranges, which any farmer can tell
Orange. I can't believe
based on the color of the skin of the fruit. He's saying that the girls in his school have breasts now that are about the size of the oranges on these trees. Alan is saying, I like to touch them. And then when the oranges drop, that's when you take them home to eat.
No, if the oranges drop, it's not good.
It's not good. It's a bad orange. Now Alan would like to climb these trees. He asked me before if it would be okay.
That's a good orange. It doesn't come down.
Okay, now that's a good orange, and Alan is going to take that orange and catch it in a farmer's catch and in a farmer's pitch. They throw them.
Cypress Hill Select. Nothing but the best. All right, Jody, we don't use the street car.
Quiet for the moment. We are now catching Alan by a statue in Memphis, and I just want to show you that there are some men repairing a crack in the statue, and you see Alan walked over to it and gave it a little push, and the statue fell down. So now there are people on scaffolds putting a seam and
How much
putting it back together.
$50 fine.
He's got such a fine of Egyptian pounds you wouldn't understand, but you see across the midsection of the statue, you could see Alan's handiwork. And they are not going to let him use any foreign adapters or touch any statues from this point forward.
Can't see much, but we're inside one of the, see, you came in. He came in through this little hatch here. I'll show you in a second.
I'm going to give him a pound.
This is where you crawled in. You can see that back home. Not a lot of light. There it goes. Show you the way out of the pyramid here. Only I would do this. Jody was getting claustrophobic. We've been in this tunnel system crawling through. Here's the way up. Give you a little view up the hatch. And I'll be back in a second. You enjoy your pita bread?
Yes, thank you.
They're hermetically sealed, those oranges.
Orange.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
No.
Here we are at the pyramids of Egypt. There aren't too many people that know about these. As you can see, there aren't that many tourists around. Nope. And, oh, but wait a second. A bus or two has seemed to have found its way up here. I would suggest you don't go inside the actual pyramid itself unless you like being in small, cramped quarters, like a rat in a sewer. Okay. Don't take the camel.
A little bit overrun, I'd say, with tourists. Guys, desperate to sell you the pictures. Okay.
Oh God, where's my wet eye?
No, just go up a little bit. Okay.
No. Alan, you are dead.
Just up once. And...
Give the video. I know how to choose the video.
Alan.
Okay.
Oh God, I'm gonna go.
What, go?
Wait, oh God, no. Don't go away. Stop. Down. I have to go down now.
امشي كده ولد. استنى.
Oh, please, make him go down. Please. Can I get up now?
ركب الراديو. دور.
The line is flicking? Perfect. Anything for... But
45 degree angle.
Streets of Cairo. Really zipping along, as you can see, at 3 miles an hour. Yeah. Get a sense for what's going on outside, but go inside here. We're here in Luxor. A lot of tourists here, but a little bit more. Try to give you perspective of this.
Well, here we are, looking at the very unique and very original Sphinx, until we rounded the bend and discovered that there's about 100 or 200 more of them lined up back here. That's like, you know, buying that original piece of papyrus art at the Institute and then seeing the log number and knowing that there are 75 versions sitting in the factory. So basically, you know, they get an order, they cut them out, send them on out. These are on the lawns of a lot of rich Egyptians.
Exactly.
You basically, you know, kind of like the lions in front of the New York Library. The Egyptians put Sphinx. Did you get down the whole row, Alan?
Yeah. Hopefully without tourists.
It shows scope. Don't worry about it.
Feel things slowly for you. And you can see another Sphinx. Oh, coming up here?
Yeah.
You can see,
Beautifully situated in a very quiet, serene, and beautiful area of downtown Luxor. Alan is determined to stay on the great highways of the third world. In all restaurants.
Oh, tour bus.
There's the Club Med sign coming into view. Notice the beautiful painting, hand
And our
lettering.
security guards out front.
And here we are.
We'll take a quick peer around here. And into Club Med we go.
Much rumored was a trip to the Nile, which is where we are right now. And Alan is showing you the hot air balloon ride, which he has repeatedly tried to convince me to take with him, over the mountains on the other side of the Nile from Luxor. And as we move across, you can see the lovely boats, and I wouldn't call them yachts, but little sailboats cruising the somewhat murky waters of the Nile. After one day here in the Nile, in Luxor, in Egypt, I can only tell you that if you're on a game show and you win a trip for two to the Nile in Egypt or a Quaker-made defrosting refrigerator freezer, take the Quaker-made. It's a lot more reliable. The weather's been beautiful. We've been lying in the sun, soaking up the rays at about the same latitude as Los Angeles, but they're greater rays because they're in Luxor. And we're about to take a small boat to the Museum of Luxor.
Over there, you think?
I think it might be this boat coming toward us, coming straight toward us to your left a little bit. And
It does have a very peaceful feel to it, doesn't it?
yeah, I mean, it feels like we're floating, and we're not. We're
eaten alive by mosquitoes.
Being eaten alive
Alan
by
has to take his
mosquitoes.
last video.
Here at the Temple of Luxor.
Carmex comes in a stick now. I saw somebody using it. No. Yes. Carmex. I'm so excited to have my dog. You know, it was great. My Carmex got
So
outside.
teams inside the
Now it's much easier. Because I don't stick my fingernail into the bottom. So now it's right on the edge. I didn't really know about it until I...
The citadel that arose here was not designed on the scale of men, but on the grand scale of God, from whom all things flowed. The drought and the flood, the granaries and the plagues, dreams and power, death and survival.
The great French archaeologist Champollion,
Surmounted by the crescent moon. For the bark is the symbol of the movement of the world, the pedestal of God. It is the throne of the Pharaoh, the instrument of war and of building. The civilization that erected the columns and Colossi of time was a river civilization.
it was by bark that the rose-colored rose, dyed in alabaster red tree, each flag bearing tons of raw stone shaped to...
The bond is broken, the seal unsealed. The twin gates of heaven are opening. The twin gates of the earth are swinging wide.
Mingle here like the myriad leaves of a tree. The god Ammon is the tree, and each pharaoh.
They were dug up there.
This sacred lake, on the banks of which you have come to dream, for one can only understand by dreaming, this...
The sacred fleet has reached Luxor.
That the people call the Harim of God.
And how could it be better expressed? This tender mystery that will reign over Luxor for 10 days and 10 nights, so that the world may be reborn, that the cattle may multiply, and the earth be fertile.
Take thy joy, O Ammon.
And give us joy too during these days of feast.
While we await thy return on the 11th day, and thy glorious descent of the Nile.
And thy return to Karnak.